kept
Mhm.
getting, kept wanting to be outside more and more. And,
Mhm.
and we have a cat door, so the cats go in and out as they choose.
Mhm.
But one night Smokey didn't come back, and we have a mountain lion in our little river
Community.
area.
Mhm.
And I'm sure the mountain lion had a good meal one night.
Oh,
And nothing you can do about it.
it's the
Uh,
circle of life. It really is. I
yeah.
mean, when you look at it that way, it's the circle of life. Hey, Dominique. Hey, Edward. So glad that you guys are here with
Yeah.
us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Qicovery Circle Book Club. And you know
So,
me, I'm Stephen, and this is beautiful Catherine Taylor, who really was the one who came up with the idea of doing a book club. And so
so
grateful.
I am going to, I'm on my phone,
Hmm.
so I'm a little awkward with this. Okay, we have Dominique and Edward.
Yeah.
Yay, both
Yeah.
new people.
Yeah. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Can they, can you all hear us and talk to us?
What I'll do is I'll give you guys the ability to talk. And if you want to talk and say hi, you can. If not, you can stay quiet and just, just be voyeurs in this experience. But you can say hi, introduce yourself, let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, we would
Sorry,
love that.
I'm just hi. How you going? I just unmuted myself. Hi from Byron Bay over in Australia.
Oh, you were with us a few weeks ago,
I
right?
was, I
Yeah,
was.
hey. Good to
Oh,
have you here again.
Australia. Love
Yeah,
it.
I won't.
great.
Oh, I'm just sitting in on the meeting and listening, and I'm really loving your energy and all your content.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining. So happy that you're here. Hey, Dominique.
Hi, good evening.
Hi. Where you tuning in from?
Northern California, totally in the redwoods in Humboldt County.
Oh, I love Humboldt. Oh my goodness. I have many wonderful
Oh,
memories of being at Humboldt on tour when I was a dancer. Oh, I love that.
I'm
Cool. Well,
not
welcome.
sweet.
yeah.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I have a great memory of being on a beach and like redwoods behind me, a beach in front of me, and the mist and the fog was so thick that you could barely see a few feet in front of you and just hear the sound of the ocean. And it just like I'll never forget that memory because it just felt like I was the only person on the planet. It was very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I have cool moments like that every season. I was gonna say
Hmm.
almost on the daily, but not quite on the daily.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. No,
yeah, but
just enough times to sweeten the quality of your life.
yes, yes. And the fog is very magical. Very, very
Hmm.
magical.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is indeed.
What town are you closest to?
I'm actually I have property and live in McKinleyville, but it's just outside of Arcata, where I
Mm,
went to college.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh, so my
okay.
husband is from Arcata,
love that.
uh,
Get out. Wow.
and and I've been there numerous times. The most magical thing was this fog. The fog is there every morning,
Yep.
and I understand now that's the redwoods need all of the water from that fog to live.
Yeah.
And but like in Tennessee, if you have a foggy morning, it means rain and bad weather. But up there in like in Eureka, um,
Hmm.
it's just the normal thing. And then
Yep.
you're out in this thick fog and the sun rises, and you have this mixture of the ice crystals of the fog touching your skin and the heat of the sun.
Hmm.
And it is magical.
Yeah.
Love
And
that. Something so magical about the fog and just the velocity of falling water, how it
Hmm.
helps balance the electromagnetic frequency in our auric fields.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, I do have really high pitta um,
Hmm.
dosha, just a lot of fire, just very fiery. So I
Hmm.
love the coolness. I'm originally from Southern California, but I really, it's a bit too hot and dry down there because I'm a Pitta Vata kind of
Yeah.
body constitution. So this body constitution has kept me really, really healthy. I do think it's creating longevity for me. And I am really mindful of that, like electromagnetic balancing. When I say the fog's magical, it's really what I mean. It's that alchemical kind of shift. And
Sure.
yeah, and just being a medical intuitive myself and highly clairvoyant and clairaudient and claircognizant, it's really helped me a lot to just stay in balance.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you so much, Catherine. It's cool to hear that I'm not surprised. It's cool to hear that you're so familiar with the area.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah,
great. I love
Yeah.
that.
I totally relate to what you are saying about all of the energies there.
Mhm.
I was just entranced the whole time I was there. It was, well, and I've been there like probably 4 times. Just an amazing, magical place.
Yeah, I just think the whole Northern California, like even the Bay Area, when I moved into the Bay Area, I lived in Palo Alto for years.
Yeah.
And going into San Francisco, I just developed a whole new appreciation for fog.
Yeah.
Like I know some people are like, oh, it's foggy. It's not. I just loved it. I just loved it. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is different. This is like refreshing. This is like mysterious. This is like magical. So
Perfect
cool.
adjectives. Perfect adjectives.
Yeah, it's all those beautiful things and then some, and then some. But
Totally.
anyway, we
Yeah,
digress.
how did you
I'm
come to be with us
jealous.
tonight, Dominique?
Well, I've seen, and I totally apologize for forgetting his name, but Steven's done a couple, like I've done 2 like webinars when he did it with this other Qigong gentleman. I think
Todd,
his name,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Tennessee too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how highly profound the timing has been when I just, got the email, then signed up for the webinar, just the things that have been transpiring in my life. It was just literally divine timing. And I'm also very much of a Qigong practicer. I've been doing it since my 20s, and now I'm just hit my 5th decade in my life. And so it's served me a lot. And it's just so refreshing too, Stephen, to hear 2 gentlemen talk about healing and really embodying it. It's so rare to find, even though up here where I live, there are a lot of healing practitioners. And I've been, part of what I do is in the healing realm. So I've known a lot of these practitioners. It is still challenging, though, to kind of sift through the practitioners, because people sometimes can get, it's a term that I like to call spiritualized ego. I run across that a lot in the spiritual community, and I don't know if that's just the word that I use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe you can resonate with that. And so
Yeah.
it's just been so, I can't, words fall short as far as like the divine timing. Just both the shame, I think, was last week, and then I forget, the inner child. It's just been great, just so great. Because and yeah, and I've just kind of been coming back to the Qigong practices in the videos. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming to the webinars and for giving this book club a shot tonight. And I'll let Todd know what you said. This is why we do it. This is why we do it, and we love doing everything, whether it's our Saturday morning Qicovery meeting or this Tuesday night gathering and the webinars twice a month. And we have so much more cooking that we want to share with the world. So I'm really happy that this all resonates with you, and also you as well, Edward. I'm really happy that this
Thank
resonates
you.
with you all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. Edward,
So,
you're in a weird time of your day or night, right?
I am, and I've just twisted a knee. I'm in a little bit of pain, so
Oh,
I'm just loving listening to you all, and I'm envious. I've never been to the States, and I'm really looking forward to getting there one day. It's a pity we're so far away, and it's not a
Yes.
bit easier to,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
hope you make it here someday. I'm sure
Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
there's a
Definitely
place
would
here for
love
you. I'm
that.
sure you'll enjoy. There's be certain aspects of the States that you would enjoy. So
Oh
I hope you
yeah,
make it here someday.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to that, and you're very inspiring. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So, Catherine, we're on what chapter?
We are in chapter 8, living in
Wow.
gratitude.
Oh, perfect topic for today. Love
Perfect
it.
topic. I am currently in Puerto Rico, and I picked up one of Lee's, one of his 30-minute workouts, and
Mhm.
took it on my phone down to the beach today.
Mm.
And doing qigong on the beach. If you live in Tennessee, that's such a total wonderful gift.
Yeah. 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 It's the little things in life that mean a whole lot. That was great.
So for Dominique and Edward, typically we start out by we read the chapter, we all take turns, and you read until you're led to not read anymore, and then if at any time if there's something that we read that you want to talk about, don't raise your hand or anything, just jump right in.
Okay.
This is
Thank you.
a real, we talk a lot, we
We bounce back
integrate
and
a lot.
forth. Yeah. Mhm.
Hmm.
And if you don't have a copy of the book, that's okay. Catherine and I are used to reading.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't got around to it yet. So
That's
thanks
okay.
for that.
It's
Thanks
okay.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you mind if
Mm.
I ask real quick?
Mm-hmm.
If it's the 8th chapter, I just remember at the very end of the Shane webinar last week, you talked about, oh, we're kind of getting at the end of your book. And then we're going to start, I think, is it the Melissa Gilbert's new book?
Elizabeth Gilbert's book is the next book that Catherine's gonna explore.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
curious in like how many weeks are we going to explore that? Because it'll just give me some time to get that book.
Well, we haven't really talked about that part of it. Typically a book club will meet once a month and they discuss the whole book and they go on. For this type of a book club where we are learning from every chapter, what we have adopted is that we read one chapter a week and talk about it and put it, try to make it part of our lives. So I just imagine with everything that is in that book, we will probably do it kind of in the same format. What do you think, Stephen?
I think that's beautiful. Wherever you feel led for that, go for it, Catherine. I think that's great because I think I haven't read the book, but just listening to the interviews with Elizabeth talking about the story and her story in the book, it's very chock full. I mean, it's dense, it's
Oh,
powerful, there's a lot to talk about and to integrate and to feel into.
yeah. Probably every chapter made me cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I
Same,
yeah.
Stephen. I as well was really magnetized. I heard a lot of Melissa's interviews, and I was like, oh wow, I really want to get that book. I do like to read. And then all of a sudden, I'm at your Shame webinar last week, and you bring it up. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta check out the Qicovery book club. That's why I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so I do, it's not that I apologize. I just wanted to kind of come and, like Edward, observe, check it out. And, I don't know how many chapters your book is, Stephen. Obviously, we're doing the 8th chapter, which I do think is, again, timely, the chapter of gratitude. I'm
Yeah.
so in it today. So I'm very happy about
oh,
Yeah, there's only one other chapter after this.
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the last
So
chapter
we're
is faith.
about,
And all of these videos for the book club are on YouTube.
Okay.
they're all unlisted, but if you're on this list, then you would have been on the mailing list to get the recordings.
Yep.
But if not, we'll make sure they get to you if you really want to look at them. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, when it comes to time for Elizabeth's book, my daughter ordered it for me, like in paperback. I listened to it on Audible,
Mhm.
and she is in an AA group that her sponsor heard the book and has ordered it for everybody in their AA group. That's how important she thinks this book will be. So I'm really happy that we have such a good book to follow up from Stephen's book, because I'm like, oh, what do we do next?
Yes.
How do we get better than Stephen's book? And then this book showed up, and so it's just the divine that, that is like leading us on here.
It's always the way, right? Always the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So should we start reading?
Sure, let's do it.
I can start first if you want, because I
Okay.
actually have my glasses on tonight.
All right. You did pretty well last week without your glasses. I meant to commend you for that. I was like, wow, she's doing great without her glasses on, and also the lighting wasn't ideal, but you did it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm out in the dining room tonight. I kicked all of my visitors out, so I'm here alone here in Puerto Rico for a
Good
night,
for
which
you.
I'm loving.
Mama
Mm-hmm.
needs some space.
Yes, definitely. So we are starting chapter 8, Living in Gratitude. And probably one of my most favorite authors is Eckhart Tolle.
Mhm.
He has guided my life and given me my life's journey, of which is practice having no expectations. So I'm happy to see that he's here. Thank you, Stephen.
Mhm.
Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Eckhart Tolle. Choosing gratitude can have an enormous impact on our lives. When we focus most of our thoughts and energy on what we consider to be wrong, we miss the fertile opportunity to recognize what favorable things are simultaneously blessing us. This process of recognition sets in motion a new awareness and appreciation for the people, places, and things in our lives that make it rich and fulfilling. This is part of what it means to change our perceptions and the way we view life, as discussed in chapter 6. Optimism and gratitude go hand in hand, as do pessimism and ingratitude. An author and professor of psychology at the University of California at Davis, Robert Emmons, has done extensive research on gratitude. He states the practice of gratitude can have dramatic and lasting effects on a person's life. Emmons has found that practicing gratitude has positive effects on our mind, body, and social connections. It improves our health and well-being in numerous measurable and immeasurable ways. Some benefits are stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, more feelings of joy, and a greater sense of social connection, among many others. We have nothing to lose and much to gain by turning our attention to the positive aspects of life. However, despite decades of research into the positive effects of gratitude, some people remain skeptical. Some say that gratitude leads to complacency or is just a naive form of positive thinking. Some believe that expressing gratitude isn't appropriate or even possible when we're in the midst of suffering, or that we must be religious to be grateful. I once shared some of these myths and misconceptions about gratitude. However, I eventually became willing to put aside my skepticism and explore this practice, and I encourage you to do the same. The willingness to embrace gratitude can lead to an abundant life. The fertile ground of gratitude. I know from experience that when we're in the midst of addiction We focus primarily on the misery in our lives, and those discontents fuel the addiction. When our energy focuses exclusively on the problem, we create more of the problem. However, when we allow the sunlight of gratitude to shine its rays into the dark corners of our life, we can uncover solutions, see the good things that exist, and create fertile ground for more of it to grow. In the 1990s, I was watching an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show in which Oprah spoke passionately about the practice of keeping a gratitude journal. I had never considered such a thing. She said, I know for sure that appreciating whatever shows up for you in your life changes your personal vibration. You radiate and generate more goodness for yourself when you're aware of all you have and not focusing on their have-nots. I was moved by this and attempted to start a gratitude practice while in the throes of my addiction, but I was not successful. It was like taking a daily vitamin pill to be healthy while still poisoning myself with alcohol, drugs, and a steady diet of negativity. It just didn't work. It just doesn't work. Once I got sober, a recovery buddy suggested that I consider approaching life with an attitude of gratitude, and so I began again. My recovery friend, Kristen, is a sober single mother and business leader. Since meeting her many years ago, I've marveled at her positivity and the way she is able to find the good in life. She explained that she also had to be encouraged to change a negative mindset. Kristen says, when we first get into recovery, it is hard to be grateful because of the destruction we've inflicted upon ourselves. It is easy to focus on the negative. But when I had someone teach me and require me to send a gratitude list daily, my mind began to shift a lot. My experience also began to shift. The distance between us and gratitude. For people at the beginning or in the middle of a recovery journey, pivoting toward gratitude can feel like a push. I too doubted whether gratitude would change my life in a meaningful way. Yes, I saw the practice working for others, but I saw myself as terminally unique, meaning that I had a belief that in the situations I was facing, they were somehow different from those of everyone else. Therefore, I had a right to wallow in my discontent. Kristen described one possible source of resistance. Some people are opposed to practicing gratitude. Many people are invested in a state that they are in because it is familiar and comfortable to some degree. Life consists of change, which is disturbing for us all. It is nice to know what is going to happen, but unfortunately, that is not life. Self-centered fear makes it hard to be grateful. Often our fear isn't about anything that's actually happening, but we fear things that might happen in the future. Gratitude brings us into the present and asks us to focus on what we are grateful for in this moment. Like many people, Kristen had to experience this for herself to understand how transformative it can be. I was going through a difficult time. I had a lot on my plate in the beginning, and when I thought about it, I would spiral downward. So my sponsor had me send her a list of 5 things I was grateful for upon awakening, first thing in the morning. Initially, I doubted it would help me. I decided to do it to appease her. I really didn't think it was going to have any effect on me whatsoever. And I found it was like a magic bullet because I really tried to make my list different every day and detailed. Regularly identifying things to be grateful for is such a simple exercise, but it takes time to build the habit. I started expressing gratitude for the basics, and it grew from there. I would have to sit there in the morning and think of things deeply. What was I grateful for? Was someone in my life a cause for me to be grateful? Was there something about the weather? Was something like an act of kindness or something that happened to me a cause for gratitude? Sometimes I had to be grateful for the strength to be able to write a gratitude list at all.
Mhm.
When we earnestly engage in this process, it begins to rewire the brain. Scientists have discovered that whenever we express or receive gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, two neurotransmitters that are some of the so-called feel-good hormones because they make us feel better. By practicing gratitude every day, we can help strengthen these neural pathways and create positive changes within ourselves. Kristen now touts the benefits of practicing gratitude to anyone who will listen.
Hmm.
Being grateful is the most important thing I do in a day. I think out of all the tools I've ever used for myself, this has been the most effective because it changes my mood, my outlook, and gratitude begats gratitude. If you start to feel gratitude, suddenly it seems like you have more to be grateful for. Despite her initial reservations about the effectiveness of a gratitude practice, Kristen pressed forward and gave it a try. At first, her efforts were small, and some days she could only be grateful and get herself to be grateful for the weather or for the willingness and strength to be grateful at all. This was enough to set things in motion. Keep in mind for yourself as you explore the tools I offer next for developing an ongoing gratitude practice in your everyday life.
Okay.
Does
And
anybody want to say anything about their gratitude?
I would love to.
go for it.
Okay, I know this is not about like personal stuff, but I really did put this into practice after a personal situation happened that I would say probably one of the most strangest things happened to me. I do think it's appropriate for me to just to really kind of touch in on the experience just because you guys brought up brought up about the beaches up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for smile. Smiles. Okay, so
Mm.
I just happened to we had some really warm, like Southern California like weather last Monday and Tuesday. I
Mm.
went to the beach Tuesday. I brought my canine companion. We went to this one um beach that's like maybe it's like a cove. It's maybe the length of two football fields. It's in Trinidad, north of Arcata.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, yeah. What's the name of it?
Eh, It's a
Trina,
it's a
I
weird
know,
name. It's a weird name just because it's called Indian Beach. I say it's
I
weird
know it.
because the word Indian, yeah. So I used
It's a
to
beautiful place.
Yeah, so I used to
Mm.
live in Trinidad when I graduated college, so I know of this beach just because it's not like everybody goes down there. It seems like a lot of times just locals know about this particular beach. So
Mhm.
it happened right when I started going down there. I basically uh, got down to the beach, took my shoes off, and still had my dog on leash until we were kind of in our spot where um, then I was going to take her off leash. And when we went walking south, and when you walk south, there's this huge rock formation that's easily like 40 feet tall.
Mm.
It didn't look like there was anyone on the other side of it. And but once I got to the other side of it, there were two humans, and it looked like a mother and a son who was maybe like 10. Well, we ended up not getting into the best interaction. As soon as I saw them, I immediately did dog etiquette and I said, oh, is your dog friendly? Off leash. And
Mhm.
the adult, perhaps the mother, didn't really respond. And then she grabbed the leash and she said, let me put the dog on leash. And I said, well, does that mean your dog's not friendly on off leash since you're putting the leash off? And she still didn't respond, and she still hadn't put the dog on leash. And the next thing you know, in a really high voice, just a more raised voice, the woman with a lot of attitudes, kind of yelled, "Why don't you go to the other side of the beach?" And I, but much more loud, much more attitude.
Wow.
And I waited a few seconds and I was about to turn around and start walking north. And I said, well, and I did, but I was like, why don't you go to the other side of the beach calmly? The next thing you know, her 10-year-old child, who was naked, it was so shocking, hurled a 3-foot stick at me, yelled at me saying, "You're a mean person, you're a mean person," and then ran off away from the mom, screaming. The next thing I know, the mother called the cops. I silently turned around and continued walking north and stayed at the totally north end, which again is the length of like 2 football fields to the
Oh my
north.
gosh.
And I didn't leave the beach because I was like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. If she actually follows through and calls the cops, I don't have a problem talking to them. So I went in the ocean, which was great because it really calmed my nervous system down. And I went into it twice. And then there's a cliff right behind the beach, like 200, easily like 200 yards high. I heard that kid up at the top of the cliff. They must have left, went up to the top, and went all the way north. I heard, "Get out of town, get out of town." I proceeded,
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty wild. I proceeded to just sit down, went in the water a couple times, threw a stick for my dog, ran. I sat down and read for a little while, had a snack, and then after about 2 hours later, I was like, "Oh, let's go for a little run with my dog." Put her on back on leash, and we started to run south. And here come 2 sheriffs. Told him exactly what I told you, exactly the story. He didn't even wait. He didn't, as soon as I told the story, he didn't even wait to process it. He immediately responded, Officer Luna, by saying, "Well, I guess there's 2 sides to every story." He arrested me and I got taken and booked me into Eureka County Jail that night. So here's my
Wow.
thankfulness and gratitude. I know it was the most strangest, wildest thing. And I had to do everything to and that was the day before. So then the next day when you had that shame webinar, oh my God, Stephen, you don't even know how profound it was to help me like regulate and ground. Even though I've had so many decades and all these practices, it's still so challenging when things are just put in your face and a false accusations made. And
Yes.
it was so wild. And so then,
Mhm.
yeah, so here are the grateful things. Like, they're like, I was able to call my neighbor and he came, that I'm good friends with, him and his wife, and came and got my dog. Otherwise, my dog would have had to be put into like their kennels or, like in some, I don't know, sheriff kennels. Like, my dog's not used to that, like at all. And my neighbor was such a great problem solver. He like, when I finally was in Eureka, which was like 30 minutes away, maybe 40 minutes away, I thought, oh my God, my car's back 40 minutes north in Trinidad. But he ended up driving, instead he left his car in Trinidad because his child goes to elementary school in Trinidad the next morning. So he just parked his car, took my truck because knew my dog would be comfortable in it, drove to my house, and then I was able to call him. He came to pick me up about 8:30 at night. I like was taken in like at 5 and picked up my dog, put my dog in my truck, and drove my truck with my dog. And he goes, "I just know you'd probably want to see your dog," like to be picked up in
Oh,
jail when they let me off. So there was all these the most tiniest little morsels of just giving thanks, because it could have just gone wrong. So many other things could have gone wrong, if that makes sense. Like, I tried to see the light in every situation, and there was. It just, everything could have been so much more worse. And so across the years, I think, I think I got a good lawyer, to represent me. And I'm just following doing my best to be a responsible citizen, even though this is a false accusation, and I'm just going to, follow it through to the end.
Hmm. Bless you, man.
Good
Thank you.
let it,
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
bless you and bless that woman and that kid because they're not well. They're
That's
not
so
well.
interesting you said that, because
They're not well.
after your webinar and after just like 24 hours, I really began to ground and come to a much more compassionate place in my heart. And I just go, I wish her light. I wish that child light, because they were so highly reactive and highly, highly sensitive and overreactionary that
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe I could come to even say that out of my mouth, like out
Yeah.
loud in 24 hours, to say just, I wish her light, because I know this is only going to be, if, if she did that to me, there's only going to be a time where, because it would have felt like she was bullying me, really.
Yeah.
And there's only going to be a time where that less, like, she's not going to, in a sense, win the bullying. In a sense, I think the lessons are going to come. And yes, may it be gentle for her, but also like, I don't know. We weep what we sow,
Good,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
letting
yeah.
go practice.
Good letting go practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
I think about what she's teaching that poor child.
Yeah.
Right. All of that, all of that. But I've had to every morning wake up, like even when you're reading the chapter right then, I realized, oh my God, I'm waking up with a healthy body, a healthy mind, amidst all of this. Like every day I'm waking up healthy. I'm waking up being able to problem solve. I'm waking up to being able to do grounding exercises, my sitting meditation or some qigong. Like I'm able to still do that in my home. Like things could be far more worse.
Yeah. Yeah. You could have
totally.
spent the night in that jail
Yeah,
and still
right.
be there, I mean,
Yeah.
wow. 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 Thank you
Oh,
for
I'm
Mm.
so
sharing that.
sorry.
Thank you for
Mm.
listening. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for listening.
Whew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You have a big hug from me for sure.
Mm.
Gosh,
Wow.
that was hard to go through. And
Yeah.
everything, just kind of worked out your way
Yes,
to be the positive for her negative for you.
Mm.
Mm.
yeah, it is interesting how that, yeah, it's like, how can you feel grateful when someone wrongly accuses you or someone gaslights you? It is a challenging practice to still be grateful, to see the cracks of light within, being slandered and shamed.
Yeah. Well, that's what carries you through. I mean, if you just something to balance out the shadow, having the light that which is your gratitude, which is your ability to be grateful for the things that you do have, like your dog and your neighbors and a car and a home and the ability to have a lawyer to represent you in this ridiculous case.
Have the money to hire a lawyer, like,
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, there's a lot to be grateful for. And at some point, as traumatic as this whole thing has been, you're gonna look back on this time and it's gonna be like a blip. It's like, oh yeah, that happened. Wasn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Because life just moves on. It's gonna move on, and then something else is, taking its place. But wow,
yeah,
thank you for sharing
timing.
that.
There is something to be said about timing like time heals.
Mm,
I've lived long enough, just getting in my fifth decade, knowing that, oh yeah, time does heal. I've lived long enough to know that.
mm,
So it is easy, easier said than done, right? When you say, oh, this too shall pass. When I'm
yeah.
just, right now I'm just, it is about the gratitude practice. It's a daily thing. It's just about day to day being mindful of my mind, being mindful of any anxiety, being
Mm,
mindful of when my mind spins off. Oh, that's a clue to, okay, ground.
yeah.
Okay, give thanks. Okay, breathe. Put my hand to my heart.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's the only thing that helped me when I was driving in the cop car with handcuffs on, and I'm only 100 pounds and I'm 5 feet tall. Like
Oh,
very small person. She was much more.
Mm.
I mean, her
Yeah.
child was actually almost the size of me. Um, you
Yeah.
know, and the
It's just
only thing
ridiculous. Yeah.
was. It was absolutely ridiculous, but at the same time, it's reality. And
Yeah.
so the only thing that really helped my nervous system when I'm driving in the cop car those 30 minutes to Eureka Jail was to deep breathe. That's all I knew, is to do like pranayama breathing, because that's all I knew. I just had to breathe because I could just feel, I could feel the other people's energies in that cop car that like have been there in that back seat. Like
I
that,
bet.
it
I
was,
bet.
it was intense. And,
Yeah.
just to keep my sanity, the only thing I could do to regulate my nervous system is to breathe. And
Amazing.
it really was what got me through it. It really was. And still, it does help me to hear about things that are going on in other parts of the world, because it does put things
Yeah,
in perspective.
totally,
Sure,
totally.
sure. Yeah.
Big time.
Edward, you were going to say something earlier. What were you going to say?
Oh yeah, that last point. I'm always you put on the news and see how they're living in Gaza. It's such a reality check. Or every time I see someone in a wheelchair, on the street. The two things that came to mind hearing that story was I mean, there was lots of lessons there, but the two that stood out for me was, the one I mentioned, like on letting go. The things that happen out of our control are all good practice for letting go. And when we're faced with that ultimate letting go, which we all will one day, all that practice will come in handy and can, affect, enhance, make that passing process a more peaceful one. And apparently the state of our mind when we pass is what we get reincarnated back with if we have to come back again. So I always look at, when things happen, those, I call them the letting go experiences like that. Yeah, it's just good practice for that. And the other one I came to mind was I always try and remember if I'm having to deal with, judgment from people, trying to remember to not give my power away to it and know that judgment comes from the ego and it's not real, from that higher truth perspective that all there is love. So, and anything else is an illusion. So, and that's a hard one. It's really hard not to get caught up in that, and give our power away and make it more real than it actually is. Take it personally. And
Yeah.
so, that was an awesome story, though. You poor thing. That sounded horrendous.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Edward. Both of those, judgment, letting go. And I think of letting go, I think of surrendering, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
surrender, like allowing. It's what got me through, sitting there, you have to take you have to not only take your clothes off, you have to take your shoes off,
Oh my God. Yeah. You did a
know,
really
they pat
good.
you down you have to they pat you down and all that. Granted, it was a female, officer and things, but it is really degrading. And
You
they
did
weren't,
well.
yeah, and they weren't willing. It was weird. They just weren't really like willing to listen to me, really.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
kind of, they just placed that judgment. And
Mm.
so instead of frustrating about it, luckily I was able to deep breathe, realize I just needed to kind of surrender this process so I could get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God you had all the awareness you have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You know,
thank you.
it comes in, it just can just shift the way you experience things like that. I
Yeah.
couldn't help remembering, I think is it Wayne Dyer's definition of enlightenment, the quiet acceptance of what is,
Hmm.
and it's so easy to do when things are, when we're
Going well.
experiencing, but, in times like that, it's, when there's, lessons being learned, I believe we attract everything for some,
Yeah.
for some sort of learning, but still have that awareness and gratitude is such a challenge. Yeah. Kudos to you.
Yeah, I think this all reminds me everything that's being said, and especially going back to the tool that helped you when you were in that car. It's just tools. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's so important in life to gather as many tools as you can possibly gather,
Yeah.
because you never know what life is going to throw at you.
So
And
true.
the more tools you have, the better you'll fare. And because what works for
So
you
true.
today might not work for you a year from now. So we just
Yeah.
continue to gather what we can. So let's pick up where
Very
we left
true.
off, and go into this section called Recovery Toolbox. So the first two recovery tools are Complementary exercises, they build a deep and personal sense of gratitude within, and in time, this overall feeling will infuse every part of your life and recovery. The last two exercises are also complementary. They prompt you to share those feelings with others. By bringing gratitude along with you, you do the work of recovering yourself. It softens the rough edges of any challenge and deepens your appreciation of every win. So the first one is take a gratitude break. As an experiment, take a gratitude break right now. Think of 5 things you're grateful for today and write them down. Then take a few moments to reread what you've written and consider why you're grateful for these things. That's all, but give yourself an extra moment to take in the quiet power of the exercise. Next, try this prescription. Continue taking a gratitude break once a day for the next week. This is a great way to start your day, but there is no wrong way or bad time to do this. You can be grateful for anything, from the tiniest, most mundane thing to the largest, most precious things. As you continue through each day, take moments to reflect on the list, and if you feel inspired, add to it. You can never be too grateful. And at the end of the week, compare how you feel about the practice now to how you felt initially. Has anything changed? Give this practice time to alter your perspective until seeing the world and your life through the eyes of gratitude feels natural all the time. Take a photo. This fun exercise is an alternative type of gratitude break. As the saying goes, sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. So instead of, or in addition to writing down what you're grateful for, take photos throughout the day on your cell phone camera of people, places, and things that inspire gratitude in the moment. Make it a fun game for yourself. Hunt for things that inspire gratitude. Capture images that are meaningful to you. If you find yourself having a fun and enjoyable moment, take a photo of that moment, of yourself and of the person or the place you are. Like the previous exercise, try this for a week, and at the end of each day, take a few moments to review the day's gratitude pictures. As you do, recall the positive feelings, joy, and inspiration that caused you to take each photo. Cultivate those feelings of gratitude in your awareness and see if they carry over into the next day. Notice if your perspective on gratitude changes and modify these exercises in whatever way inspires you the most. I often take photos of the sky, plants, flowers, my cats, or food that I am cooking. Taking the photos always fills me with awe, wonder, magic, and joy. And I tap into those same feelings when I revisit the photos. I remember how grateful I am for so much of my life. Every time you look at your photos, they will surely do the same for you. I'm just reminded of the days when we had to take pictures and then send them to the photo mat to be developed, and how you had to wait for your photos, and now we can do it instantly on our phones. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. You can actually do it now. So, share your gratitude. The next two exercises are ways to extend the spirit of gratitude you are cultivating by sharing it with others. This will enable it to grow. Each day after you've created your gratitude list, or as you review your gratitude photos, share some or all of these moments and thoughts with someone in your life who would appreciate the practice. Let inspiration guide you to share expressions of gratitude with whoever is appropriate, but I also recommend developing a consistent exchange of gratitude with one or more persons. It's fast, it's easy to do this by calling, texting, or emailing. It is a wonderful practice to do early in the day because it sets a joyful tone for the hours that follow. If you have already created a gratitude list in taking gratitude break above, I invite you to share one or more of those thoughts with someone today. Consider who might be a good choice to join you in a daily practice of gratitude for 1 week and ask them. Then at the end of the week, check in with yourself and the other person. How do you both feel? Has sharing gratitude improved your experience or affected your connection? Depending upon how you feel, you can decide whether to continue the practice of sharing gratitude. For 2 years, I shared my gratitude list with friends, both inside and outside of recovery. It started off as an exchange between myself and a couple of people, and it grew to be a group of 7 with whom I shared my daily list. Some participated for a long time, while others were a part of the journey briefly. Some sent their list back to me, while others gratefully received my list but never kept one for themselves. As Robert Emmons said, as Robert Emmons has found, gratitude improves interpersonal relationships in all areas of our life. Expressing gratitude creates positive emotions, primarily happiness. What a transformative experience it is to share happiness with others. It is an energy that uplifts all who are touched by it. In time, everyone gets caught in the gratitude flow, where the energy of thankfulness moves effortlessly through you and everyone around you. Write a gratitude letter. Lastly, consider writing a letter of gratitude to someone who is important to you and share with them how much you appreciate and value their presence in your life. This is meant to be a deeper, more profound expression of gratitude, so take time to consider who to write and what to say. That said, the note does not have to be long. Simply explain the intention behind your correspondence and share 1 or 2 things about the person that you are grateful for and why they are so meaningful to you. Of course, it's natural to do this with people we love and feel comfortable with, but this can also be a powerful exercise to do with someone important with whom we have a less comfortable relationship with. They may be surprised by your outreach, and most people enjoy pleasant surprises. That said, if writing a letter to anyone is a stretch for you, consider writing the note today and waiting to send it at a later date. This task alone will fill you with a new sense of thankfulness that can inspire profound change. And so we always end the chapter with some deep diving questions and then a little Qigong movement. So here are the deep diving questions. Do you have any resistance to the idea of gratitude practice or the expressing gratitude to others? Explore the source of any ambivalence, anxieties, and fear you might have. Describe times when you found it easy to express gratitude and describe times when it has been hard. After writing a list for 5 days, a list of 5 daily things to be grateful for, take extra time to explore what about them makes you feel grateful. Be specific and personal and see if there is more to discover. Do the same thing with your gratitude photos. At the end of one day, write about how they make you feel, explore and express your feelings, and be as descriptive as possible. And lastly, what surprises, if any, has this practice of gratitude revealed to you?
Mm.
So,
Ooh, wow.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
we have anything to share about that before we do a little Qigong to integrate it all?
I think you've
Like, I
summed it
really
all
like,
up. Mm.
I like the idea of, like, especially here while I'm now in Puerto Rico, I can take 5 gratitude pictures every day. Like, I normally just take pictures of things I love, but I can take them with the idea of gratitude, and maybe make a little Puerto Rico gratitude book.
Yes, make some art. Make some art out of it. That's so
Yeah,
great.
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
I love that.
Mm.
Yeah.
What a great topic. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gratitude is one of those things that I go in and out of my life of keeping a gratitude journal, but I
Mm.
never stop feeling grateful and identifying something that I'm grateful for
Yeah, it's
and
definitely
and letting that thing bring a smile to my face, because so much of it, and like I've said it in the book,
Mm.
is about not just writing down, oh, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. It's like, how did
Yeah.
it make you feel?
Mm.
Like
Mm.
really tapping into the feelings behind the gratitude and why that thing
Yeah.
is so
Mm.
impactful for you.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the transformation that that leads to so many other great things in life.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
the newer graphic art that I'm learning how to do now and doing every day. The circle, when you do your design and then you make your gratitude circles and like they're in a different color. And so what I'm finding is that when I then finish my picture and I look at my gratitude circles, they stand out as much as what I'm putting into the picture that I want to change about my life. And that's making me see that I will be changing things in my life through intentful gratitude.
So be it.
That's so
Beautiful.
beautiful. I love that.
Powerful. Yeah.
Love that.
It's definitely one of those practices that's, it's definitely a powerful one, what we give our energy to, and, the cup half full, I've been getting on the phone to my mum recently and being a whinging little, I experience gratitude a lot, but I have been going through a rough time, and I find myself with my mum whinging a bit, and then I get off the phone and think, oh no, she must be so over me, carrying on like a drama queen like that. So I try and remind myself to, cup half empty, and it opens us up to receiving more, and it's a win-win for not just us, but everyone we're connected with and in contact with. So yeah, it's powerful. Thanks for the reminder.
Gratitude and grace. Give yourself some grace. Give
Grace.
yourself some
Yeah.
grace. Don't forget to give yourself some grace.
Lots of grace. You just sharing, Edward, about, lately feeling how you get off the phone after talking.
Yeah.
Well, it felt the same way when I was sharing that story with you. I'm like, is this like sharing the story all with you? I was like, is this too much? Am I just whining at the same time?
No.
At the same, right? And so that kind of ties into that last part that you read about writing. I'm a real believer in writing, even if I don't send the letter.
Yeah.
So powerful, because when you actually physically write, even if it's I think typing or writing, I do like to handwrite, but I have found it even in typing, you're getting those emotions out. You're creating flow, energy flow through your being, like your movement, you're moving it, you're moving things, like you're just moving energy, you're moving it. And so I find it highly, highly powerful to write.
Yeah, better out than in.
Yes,
Speaking
better
of
out than in.
better out than in. Speaking of moving, let's do a little bit of Qigong before we close out our session.
Let's do.
Yeah, this one I love. This is like one of my favorite Qigong exercises. I love cloudy hands. Cloudy hands, which is the
I love
flowing
cloudy
movement for the
hands,
heart.
yeah, I find it difficult to explain.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's a hard one to teach.
Yeah, so we start with our legs about shoulder width apart, knees are soft. We lift our arms and we round them in front of us. So they're about shoulder height, shoulder width. Relax your shoulders. And just lower one arm down so you can mirror me. Lower one arm down. And then you lift it up. Lower the other arm down. And then you lift it up. Good. Keep the arms in this position and just shift your weight to one side. And then turn towards that side. Shift your weight to the other side. Turn towards that side. Good. Now shift your weight to the other side. Lower the opposite arm. Turn towards that lifted arm. Shift your weight to the other side. Lift that same arm. Turn from your waist. Lower the opposite arm down. Take your time. So you inhale to one side. Exhale to the other side. And just imagine your arms are like clouds floating in the sky. Like the top arm and hand is the cloud, and the bottom arm and hand is like the shadow that the cloud casts on the ground or on the water. Really shift your weight from one side to the other side, turning from your waist. Let's come back to the center and round your arms in front of you. Now allow your palms to face the sky, bend your elbows like this. And now your fingers are pointing away from your face. Now I want you to turn from your wrist and let your fingers point towards you. Yeah, relax your shoulders, shift back towards your heels. You can close your eyes. And just take a few deep breaths as you hold the standing posture for the fire element, for the heart and the small intestine. Just envision energy pouring into your hands, traveling down the arms and filling your heart. And you can envision your heart glowing with a bright red light. Take a deep breath. Exhale, float your arms down. Let's pull down the sky. Inhale, arms out from above the head. Bend your elbows, float your arms down. Hands facing your body. Again, deep breath in. As the arms lift, relax your shoulders. Exhale, float the arms down. Let's do one more. And then we can go into bamboo in the wind. So bring your legs and feet together. Bring your hands together, place them on your lower belly, soften your knees. Just let your body rock and sway. Like a bamboo tree in the wind. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, relax. Beautiful, everybody.
Thank you so much. What a lovely way to finish.
Yes, lovely hour together. Thank you so much for coming out, Dominique and
Thank
Edward.
you.
And
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
everyone.
Please.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
been a
Thanks
great
for
hour.
sharing. That was just lovely.
And
So
thank
much
you.
peace.
Thank you. Hope to
Oh,
see you next week.
yes. And
You-
thank you, Catherine. Thank you for all that you do to facilitate this hour that we spend together. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Edward and Dominique and Stephen, of course.
Sending blessings from Australia. Stay blessed,
Yes.
people.
In
Thank you.
gratitude.
Stephen, if you
Bye.
were in Australia, you'd be very popular. I'm warning you.
Thank you so much.
You'd have to get a few personal bodyguards, I think.
Oh, I'll
Take
keep that in
good-
mind the next time I'm there.
Take good care.
It feels so good to laugh at the end of all this.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Lots of love.
Bye now.